What is crack-a-lackin', all my beautiful apes? We have another very positive day for AMC in the books. And this does look like we are starting to see the formations to start the mother of all short squeezes. I wouldn't get ahead of yourselves, but it is looking very good. We are creating some distance between our support level of $50 per share, and we are getting closer to this $55 resistance level. And we were correct on our prediction in the last video that we did make last night, where we did say the short interest was likely to go to 19.5 to 20%. That is exactly what we are seeing today, reflected on the Ortex data. And in short, what is happening? We are seeing some shorts covering, but we are also seeing more shorts coming in and shorting the stock. We're seeing a bit of a gamma squeeze as well as turbulence in the overall markets. And when we do see the market sell off and ultimately go through a crash or correction, that is when you are going to see major margin calls going out for the big shorts of AMC, like Citadel and the other large shorts. So we're going to talk about all of this, the margin call situation, the gamma squeeze, the Ortex data, go over the technical analysis, literally everything you guys need to know. So let's get straight into it. Drop that like on the video, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. But before we do dive into all of the crucial information, right here, this is my ex. We dated years back, but we did start talking just a couple of weeks ago. And last night at about in between about 4 and 5 in the morning, she was in a rollover crash with one other person. That other person died right at the scene. She was in having brain surgery for about 4 hours. She had a brain bleed going on, and she has a total fractured shoulder. They're not too worried about that, but it's looking like she is going to make it, obviously, in the ICU. She was in a coma, but now they have since brought her out of the coma. I'm not sure exactly how this medical situation does work, but she, does know her name. She knows her mom. She knows where she's at. She knows what year it is. So it's looking good in that aspect, but she has a son. She's obviously not gonna be able to work for a long time. And I know how you AMC apes are. I know AMC has brought a lot of people out of dark places. So if you guys do want to help somebody that is, quite frankly, in a dark place and will be for a very long time, then I will post this link in the top comment that will be pinned, as well as in the description. There's only a $1,500 goal. If you guys want to help in any way, shape, or form, or just say a prayer, that is very much appreciated. So with that being said, guys, I do appreciate every single person that does decide to do that. It is also a complete tax write-off, but I would contact your tax professional for clarification on that. So now that that is out the way, let's get straight into this video. And first things first, let's go over what is happening with AMC stock. So we are up 3.05% on the day. It has been very volatile. AMC at points today looked like it wanted to go through a major rally, and at some points it did, but would always come back down a little bit. But overall, closing up the day 3%, and after hours bouncing around a little bit, up 1 penny or 0.02%. So looking phenomenal here. You want to see that distance really be formed, go to $53, $54 to really retest the resistance level at $55 per share, rather than going back down to close to $50. So that is exactly what we're seeing right now. Let's take a look at the volume for the day, and only 75 million for volume. And like I said, you're seeing a lot of shorts actually shorting the stock, but the stock is going up every single day. That is a phenomenal sign, probably due in part to a lot of the good fundamental catalysts that we have seen for the business, but also we are going to see a massive gamma squeeze, in my personal opinion. Like I've said, this did confirm itself on Friday when we did close over $50 per share, but there's a lot more we do have to get into when we're talking about that situation. But everything looks good. We are well above our 50-day moving average. We are well above our 200-day moving average. Just watch this $50 support level. I think you're going to get some consolidation 1 or 2 days this week, but you could see a huge lift off on the green days, and that is really what I am expecting, a stair step like motion. But we are going to see a big green candle, in my personal opinion. At least that is what I am thinking. So Now to the Ortex data, guys. This is exactly what we called out in yesterday's video. If you watch all of these videos, you know exactly what I'm talking about. We nailed this on the head again. I did indicate that the free flow on loan went down about 1.3%, so we're likely to see that short interest go up about 1.3 or even 1.5%. That is exactly what happened. Now we're sitting at 19.95% short interest. I estimated in between about 19.5 and 20%. So if you guys want to fact check that, go watch the video from last night. So sitting at about 20% short interest, that is a very large amount. That is categorized as extreme pessimism, vulnerable for a short squeeze. 20% is very, very high. But what is different about AMC is every single investor knows about AMC. This is not some random stock, not some secondary meme stock, right? Not some secondary stock that nobody really cares about. There is a short squeeze trade here. There is a large community, over 80% of individual investors that have very high price targets for AMC. So you're going to see a whole new level that you have never seen before of FOMO buyers, day traders, even hedge funds and institutions that start to make trades on AMC when we do see that explosiveness to the upside. And that is exactly what we are going to see. Overall, though, the share utilization is staying relatively the same, as well as the free flow on loan since the last video has stayed pretty much the same. So I don't expect the short interest to actually move around a lot right now. I think it'll hover at about 20% just because of how risky AMC is. The smart money isn't very smart after all. They continue to short the stock and they will print us massive tendies. We are already seeing that start to develop. We have never been more bullish. But let's talk about this gamma squeeze, and then let's talk about the red flags that is happening overall in the markets and why the markets going down exactly will cause the big shorts like Citadel to be forced to cover on their short positions. Because to be quite honest, guys like Citadel that have $400 billion, $450 billion of assets under management, they're, $100 million short position on AMC or $1 billion short position on AMC. It doesn't matter if AMC goes to $1,000 or $5,000 per share. They would never be forced to cover if the market doesn't go down. And we will talk about that a little bit more after the gamma squeeze situation is explained. So we're seeing in the money calls of 184,742 out of the money calls at 287,373. Why this is so significant for two factors. We are already seeing this is on Monday, guys, the first trading day of the week. 184,000, almost 185,000 calls that are in the money. This controls 18.5 million shares relative to the volume that we are even seeing on any given day, around 75 million to even 100 million. That is a very substantial amount that will have to be hedged for when we do get closer to Friday. So you are going to see a gamma squeeze, but also you are seeing most of this open interest actually being held in between the $50 and the $70 strike. So you're seeing at the $55 strike, 21,000 for open interest. That controls 2.1 million shares right there. $60 strike, 35,500 for open interest, controls obviously 3.55 million shares. At the $65 strike, 18,000. At the $70 strike, you're seeing almost 17,000. The 80 and the 90 are very significant as well. Really the 70, 75, 80, 90 are significant as well, all over 10,000, about 15,000. And then at the 90 at 21,000, at the 100 20,000. I don't know if we're gonna go that high. I think it's quite possible we go to 70. I don't know about 80, 90, 100, just because all of the shorts, or a majority of the shorts, they're not going to be forced to cover unless the market does continue to go down. So you are seeing most of the open interest overall very close to the money, and 55, 60, 65, 70, that's very close to the money, guys. We can make a move like that in no time at all. If we get, let's say, a 25% move, we're going to be sitting well into the $60 range, almost $70 per share. So that is overall very, very positive and very likely in my opinion. So now let's explain how the overall market going down will force the big shorts of AMC to cover. And if you guys have ever used margin, you know that if you have a lot of margin and your stocks start to go down, your margin maintenance levels start to go up. So that's when you get margin called, is when the overall stock market starts to go down, or just bad stocks that you're investing in. But when you're a hedge fund, you you have thousands of positions. So it doesn't matter if you're losing on a couple, but you're winning on some, you're still losing on a couple. It doesn't matter as long as the overall market does not come down and your whole portfolio value doesn't dramatically go down. So when that happens, they will be forced to cover on their positions to release that collateral instead of selling their long positions that will eventually go up in value. And AMC is by far the riskiest position. But you're also seeing a rush to safety today as the Dow Jones Industrial Average is up way more than the S&P and the Nasdaq. The Nasdaq actually closing red. Dow Jones closing up 0.76%. Nasdaq, like I said, closing red is negative 0.07%. S&P 0.23% to the positive. So you're seeing this rush to safety before the CPI numbers do come out tomorrow, and then ultimately the unemployment numbers coming out on Friday. So it's going to be very volatile. But another red flag, a huge red flag, I think the biggest red flag you could ever get is that Fed presidents Robert Kaplan and Eric Rosengren, they said that they will sell individual stock holdings amid ethics concerns regarding trading in 2020. Now, I'm sure you guys know this situation. They're selling their stocks by September 30th, putting all of their money into passive investments. This really raises a lot of questions as to if the market is going to go through a crash or correction. They basically bought the dip, want to sell out at the high end, put it into passive investments that aren't going to move around a lot. So it really brings up a lot of red flags, and it really questions what the Fed is actually doing and what they're up to. And, really just overall a huge red flag for the markets. So that is in short the situation that's going on. There's a lot of other things at play as well. A lot of fear in the markets in general. So I think it's only a matter of time before we do see this stock market crash or correction. It's very obvious, pulling out the S&P 500. Everybody knows it's coming, that it's only a matter of time. We are actually at this inflection point where the S&P has started to curl down, but we won't go to the 10% correction levels until we do hit these lows at about March of 2021. So that could happen relatively fast, and I would not count the markets out or, really make any expectations. It's going to happen. It could take some time to develop. So that is going to conclude this video. Drop that like on the video as well as consider subscribing to the channel. Let me know down below in the comment section, what is your price prediction for AMC? What do you think this gamma squeeze will entail for AMC? But also for those of you guys that do decide to donate, obviously anything helps, even a couple dollars. I am very much appreciative. I know she is. I know everybody will be. Let's really show out, if you guys are able to, show everybody what the AMC community is really about. And I think it's really about helping people, as we have all helped each other along the way. I mean, we have 4 million plus investors that are collectively coming together to better our lives, expose the fraud, manipulation, and corruption with AMC, as well as save the business and thousands of jobs. So I do greatly love and appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for the support on this channel. Check out the other links in the description for the buy and sell alerts if you guys want to join a very inexpensive program where you can learn more about trading and creating, passive income as well as aggressive strategies to make a lot of money. Then definitely check that out. It is very inexpensive. You'll be notified every time a trade is bought or sold in real time. We are also going to be starting on this channel a challenge trying to take an account from $500 to $10,000, mixing in a lot of strategies, obviously with mostly options, but we're going to trade shares here and there. If you guys want to be notified, I'll be sending those alerts out in the buy and sell alerts, but we will, we got to figure it out. Probably be making these videos on Friday or on Sunday about the trades we have made, breaking down how we are doing it. And ultimately, I've done this a couple times with my personal portfolio, so I know it can be done, and I want to show you guys how to grow a small portfolio into a large amount. So with all that being said, guys, you guys enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you in the next video.